Hi, my name is Tony Mejia, and I'll be reading from my favorite book, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde.
Now, read my future and make it for me.
They have the book I was looking for. It was in the science section. I was thinking about buying it now, and then I remembered that I have like 4 books in my backlog, so I think I'm gonna finish those first and then come back for this. Otherwise, I'll just keep buying and buying and buying books and not read. I'll finish Good Omens first and then read the rest of the books that I already have. Next time, at least now I know it's here. I took a nap again as soon as I got home. Not too much left to do in the day, but before I go back to bed, I'll talk about the books I should finish by the end of the year. The book I'm currently reading is Good Omens by Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman. I actually started this book way before starting and finishing The Stranger by Albert Camus, which I started during this daily video series. I've mentioned before that I'm a huge fan of the Sandman series. I read that as a teenager. I loved it. And I'm really enjoying the style of this book because it's really just so funny. Some of the things that are written. And it's not funny in a laugh out loud funny, but you just read these lines and you're like it's seriously not taking itself seriously, but also trying to make some points. But yeah, just a really funny book so far, and I can't wait to finish it. The book I'm going to read right after that is The Hobbit. I'm a big fan of the Lord of the Rings movie trilogy. Not so much a fan of the Hobbit movie trilogy, but I think it's finally time to start reading Tolkien. I wanted to read this before the Lord of the Rings trilogy. One of the main reasons I'm also finally going to start reading this book is because I made a pact with my friend Lindsay. She and I actually bought the book at the same time, and we said that we can't talk to each other until we both finish the book. She finished the book, I didn't even start it, and I do have an excuse, Lindsay. Like I explained to you, later that month I had to study for the Security Plus, the CompTIA Security Plus certification, which I did study for and take and pass, and I just never got back to our whole thing about reading The Hobbit. But yeah, after Good Omens, this is next, and of course the pact was a joke about not speaking to each other. We still have spoken, so looking forward to this. After that, yeah, it's called Norm Macdonald, based on a true story, not a memoir. Norm Macdonald is my favorite comedian of all time. He had under his arm a manuscript, a genre-smashing book about comedy, tragedy, love, loss, war, and redemption. When asked if this was the celebrity memoir, Norm replied, "Call it anything you damn like." Yeah. Rest in peace, Norm. I didn't even know he was sick. Really looking forward to this. After that is a book Jamie got for me. She got this at a book fair, I think, if I remember correctly. Steve Martin, Born Standing Up. Before I met Jamie, she had no idea who Steve Martin was. I mean, I think she knew like the face from Cheaper by the Dozen or stuff like that, but I showed Jamie the movie The Jerk when we first started dating, one of my favorite movies of all time. But yeah, so after that, that's when she knew who Steve Martin was, and she picked up this book for me as a gift, so I'm finally going to start reading it soon. After that, I'm going to read this, The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. My sister actually just recently finished it. This isn't her copy. This copy belongs to an old friend, Joey. Well, this book and this book were actually gifts from Joey and Amy at the time when they were a couple. They visited me in the hospital after I had my appendectomy. And this was back when Facebook was a big thing. And I wrote like, oh, if anyone's gonna visit me, please bring me cookies and cream, Arizona, and some books to read. I mean, jokingly, I posted that I didn't think anyone was gonna spend a day, coming to the hospital for an appendectomy. But one time I woke up and my friends Amy and Joey were there, and they brought all the things I asked. They got me a couple of Arizona cans, these 2 books, and cookies and cream Hershey bar, which was my favorite at the time. And yeah, I was just so at the time I was just really lucky to have great friends. But yeah, thanks guys. I'm actually going to start reading them this year. This one first, and then The Outsiders, which I think is one of my dad's favorite books / movies. And then this was a gift from Cole, my sister's boyfriend. Looking forward to this. I showed in another video where I was cleaning my bookshelf that I had the complete works of H.P. Lovecraft, which I've already read through. It's like this big, but I think this collection is going to be fun to read again. I just love H.P. Lovecraft, so thanks, Cole. If you want to start getting into H.P. Lovecraft, I would suggest The Temple. It's actually the first story and my favorite story by H.P. Lovecraft that I've read. I think it just does a good job of explaining fear that you just can't comprehend. But that's what I love about H.P. Lovecraft, is that he just so specifically explains how afraid you are of something that you don't understand. Like, it's just, you're so afraid of something that you don't understand what you're afraid of, but you just know that you are afraid of it. And then after that, I'm gonna start reading this book, which I used as a prop for my Crollo cosplay from Hunter x Hunter, Hunter x Hunter. I picked this up years ago at Punahou Carnival, along with a few other books, and it's Marcus Aurelius and Plato. It contains the Apology of Socrates, Crito, I'm sorry, words I've never heard or read before, Phaedo, the Golden Sayings of Epictetus, and the one I'm looking forward to reading the most, the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius. If you don't know what the Meditations of Marcus Aurelius is, Marcus Aurelius was a Roman emperor, and they literally just took from his personal writings, his diaries or journals. I don't think he ever meant for these to be published, but they have been published. Yeah, and it's mostly his private notes and thoughts and writings about Stoic philosophy. And a quick rundown of what a Stoic mindset is just the emphasis of focusing on what you can control, like your thoughts and your actions, and accepting what you can't. And ultimately, with those, you'd want to achieve inner peace, while focusing on virtues like wisdom and courage, temperance. I don't know, I just think Stoicism is a great mindset to have if you want to find happiness through wisdom and self-discipline rather than from external success or material wealth. So yeah, looking forward to going through this. And the last book I'm going to read before I allow myself to buy any more books is The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. I will do my best to finish this by the end of the year, along with all the other books, so. Oh man. So yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 books. I think I could go through this year. And yeah, since I'm still doing these daily videos, I will keep you posted. So yeah, I know my friend Kai doesn't watch these videos, but this is why I'm not caught up with One Piece. I stopped reading in the middle of Egghead arc, had to focus on other things, but yeah, everyone tells me it's really good. Well, yeah, that's the thing about One Piece, is that it's been going on forever, but it still continuously gets good. So, okay, that's all. Thank you.
Aha!
Hi, my name is Tony Mejia, and I'll be reading from my favorite book, The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. And this is Dorian's reaction to Lord Henry telling him that the only way to get rid of a temptation is to yield to it. For nearly 10 minutes he stood there, motionless, with parted lips and eyes strangely bright. Music had stirred him like that. Music had troubled him many times, but music was not articulate. It was not a new world, but rather another chaos that it created in us. Words, mere words, how terrible they were, how clear and vivid and cruel. One could not escape from them, and yet, what a subtle magic there was in them. They seemed to be able to give a plastic form to formless things, and to have a music of their own as sweet as that of viol or of lute. Mere words. Was there anything so real as words?
Get caught reading. Read, listen, and enjoy at pbshawai'i.org.